The rain had just started when I saw him. Not a downpour, just a thin, oily drizzle that smeared the streetlights into long yellow streaks across the windshield. It was close to 3 a.m., that hour where the world feels hollow, like everything solid has gone to sleep and left only echoes behind. I almost didn't stop. He stood on the shoulder of a 2-lane highway, miles from the nearest exit. No reflective vest, no phone, no backpack. Just a thin silhouette with one arm raised, thumb out. Rain sliding off the brim of a hat pulled low over his face. Something about the way he stood made my foot hesitate on the brake. Too still, too patient. I told myself I was being paranoid. Gas was cheap. I wasn't in a hurry, and I'd picked up plenty of weirdos before, so I pulled over. The passenger door opened slowly, as if the hinges were reluctant to move. He climbed in without a word. The smell hit me immediately. Not sweat, not dirt, but something stale and cold, like air trapped in a basement that hadn't been opened in decades. "Where to?" I asked, forcing casual into my voice. He turned his head toward me. The brim of his hat lifted just enough for me to see his eyes. They reflected the dashboard lights wrong, not like glass, more like damp stone. "Just drive," he said. His voice was layered, like a few people speaking in the same throat. "I will tell you when to stop." My pulse ticked up. "All right," I said. "You got it." We merged back onto the highway. The road stretched ahead in a straight black ribbon, swallowed by mist. For a while, neither of us spoke. Then he asked his first question. "Why do humans fear the dark?" The way he said humans, careful, deliberate, made my grip tighten on the wheel. "Because we can't see what's in it," I said. "Our brains fill in the blanks." "That is incorrect," he replied calmly. "Try again." I swallowed. "Because we evolved to associate darkness with danger. Predators, unknown threats." A pause. "That is closer." The silence afterward felt heavy, pressurized, like my car was slowly being submerged underwater. A mile later, he asked another. "What makes a person deserve to live?" That one hit harder. I thought of all the easy answers: kindness, innocence, love. But something told me easy would get me killed. "Nothing," I said. "No one deserves it. We just get it, and we decide what to do with it." He tilted his head. "Interesting." My heart hammered. We drove deeper into fog. The trees along the roadside blurred into dark shapes that seemed to lean closer with every passing second. Another question. "What is your greatest regret?" My mouth went dry. Images flashed. Things I never spoke about. Moments I buried. "I ignored my sister's last call," I said quietly. "She died that night." He was silent for so long I thought he hadn't heard me. "Regret," he finally said, tasting the word. "An efficient poison." His fingers tapped once against the dashboard. Each question came faster than the last. "What would you sacrifice to save your life?" "Why do humans lie even when truth costs nothing?" "Which is stronger, love or fear?" With every answer, the air in the car seemed to shift, sometimes colder, sometimes heavier. Once briefly, warm, like breath on my neck. Then the questions changed. They grew, sharper. If you were starving, would you eat your companion? What sound does a soul make when it breaks? How many seconds does consciousness linger after death? My pulse thundered in my ears. I answered carefully, instinctively, like I was stepping through a field of buried mines. Wrong answers felt dangerous, not logically, viscerally. At some point, I noticed we weren't passing any exits, or mile markers, or road signs. The world outside the windshield had thinned into gray nothing. "Where are we?" I asked. "Between," he replied. My chest tightened. "Between what?" He smiled, and I saw his teeth. There were too many of them. Not rows, layers. Thin, translucent plates stacked behind each other, faintly glowing like moonlight through ice. "Between your life," he said softly, "and my hunger." My hands shook on the steering wheel. "How many questions do I have left?" "That depends," he said, "on how entertaining your answers remain." My mind raced. Logic, psychology, survival. He wasn't just testing intelligence. He was measuring depth. Why spare me? I asked. Why the game? Because your species is fascinating, he replied, and because struggle seasons the mind. A chill crawled down my spine. Another question. What do you believe happens after death? I hesitated, then said, I think we return to whatever we were before we were born. Nothing, he said. Not nothing, I corrected. Not empty, just unshaped. He was quiet. So quiet I risked a glance. His eyes had changed. Less stone, more shadow. Final question, he said. My stomach dropped. If I let you go, he continued, what will you do with the rest of your life? I thought of my sister, the call I ignored, the weight I carried. I'll pay attention, I said, to people, to moments. I won't waste the time I'm given. The car drifted slightly as my hands trembled. Silence stretched. Then, slowly, he reached for the door handle. Stop here. The fog thinned just enough to reveal a narrow turnout in the road. No buildings, no lights, just trees and darkness. I braked. He opened the door. Cold air rushed in, sharp and biting. Before stepping out, he leaned close. His breath smelled like winter and rot. Your answers were adequate, he whispered. But understand this, most fail the final question. You lived because you remembered. Then he stepped into the fog. The door shut. The world snapped back into focus. Streetlights, road signs, an exit ramp just ahead. I pulled over and vomited on the side of the highway. When I finally looked back, the turnout was gone. Just solid guardrail, no shoulder, no place a hitchhiker could have stood. I still drive at night, but I never ever pick up strangers. And sometimes when the fog rolls in thick and the road goes quiet, I hear questions forming in the back of my mind, waiting for someone else to answer them.